stream, hoping for what's true. I'm trawling for honor in this shadow. Borealis starlit crown arches over the Puget Sound. Berenice's hair drapes the horizon to where is my lucky star tonight? The seventh sister of the Pleiades walks in beauty like the night. Oh, that is best, dark and now lost to me. Only trust in the northern star. That's the only point that's fixed. I once believed in love. Even love cannot bridge this rift. Where is my lucky star tonight? The seventh sister of the Pleiades, who walks in a beauty like the night. All that is best, dark and bright. Now lost to me. Now lost to me. There is no bridge. There's nothing here. You'll just diminished in your magnitude until you're disappeared. Where is my lucky star tonight? The seventh sister.
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. Night Dreams Talk Radio Network brings you the World Paranormal News with James Creechbaum. Now, the latest news.
I'm James Creechbaum with the Paranormal and World Changes News. The Arctic's most stable sea ice is vanishing at an alarmingly fast. After climate change melts the Arctic Ocean's year-round ice cover, only the region's oldest, thickest ice will remain. Or will it? A new study offers a dire warning that even this ice is at risk. Known as the last ice era, this icy zone extends more than 1,200 miles from Greenland's northern coast to the western part of the Canadian Arctic archipelago. The enduring ice here is at least 5 years old, older than the neighboring regions, and measures about 13 feet thick. However, this older, more robust sea ice is not as stable as once thought, and it's vanishing much faster than expected. In fact, at least ice era is disappearing about twice as rapidly as the Arctic's younger, thinner sea ice, researchers reported in a new study. Much of the ice in the western Arctic is first-year ice that is no more than 1 year old, said a lead study physicist. Also, the thin ice in the central Arctic is about 2 and 3 years old. And then the really old ice is in the last ice era, the physicists told the science community. Sea ice over the Arctic grows and shrinks with the seasons, but recent years have seen less and less widespread ice during both winter and summer months. In 2019, Arctic sea ice reached its maximum on March 13, spanning around 6 million square miles. That extent is actually lower than most of the 40 previous years. Arctic sea ice over the 2019 reached its lowest on September 18th at 1.6 million square miles. This coverage tied to 2007 and 2016 as the second lowest since the 1970s. This prognosis for Arctic ice's warming world it's grim. Climate models predict that most of the ice outside of the last ice era could vanish for good within the next few decades, leaving the last ice era as the sole refuge for marine life that depends on ice, such as seals, polar bears, and algae, and other mammals. By the year 2060, the Arctic will be what people define as being ice-free, which is an era of perennial ice less than 1 million square kilometers. And much of that ice will be in the last ice era. Scary stuff. Now, scientists have detected water vapor on the Europa. Water vapor from one of Jovian's moon's elusive plumes has been directly detected for the first time. In recent years, observations of Europa using the Hubble Space Telescope have revealed hints of what appear to be plumes of water vapor erupting from its surface. Now, a team led by NASA planetary scientist Lucas Paganini have for the first time detected the telltale signs of this elusive vapor using the W.M. Keck Observatory in Hawaii. The findings indicated that there was quite a lot of it as well, enough to fill an Olympic swimming pool. Pellegrini and his team believe that this vapor could be coming from either a large subterranean ocean or a reservoir of melted ice trapped inside Europa's icy exterior shell. Essential chemical elements, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur, and sources of energy, 2 of 3 requirements for life, are found all over the solar system, he said. But the third, liquid water, is somewhat hard to find beyond Earth. While scientists have not yet detected liquid water directly, we found the next best thing, water in vapor form. It is the first time water has ever been directly detected above the surface of Jupiter's icy moon, and the discovery adds to the growing body of evidence to suggest that Europa is home to a vast ocean. Future robotic missions, including NASA's own upcoming Europa Clipper, should help to unravel the secrets of this enigmatic world and tell us more about what might be beneath its surface. Also, UFO researcher explains why she sold exotic metal to Tom DeLonge. The U.S. Army will now look for demonstrable physical phenomena in a piece of metal the ufologist says come from an alien spacecraft. The UFO researcher who sold bits of exotic metal to former Blink-182 singer turned UFO mogul Tom DeLonge for $35,000 explained to Motherboard why she parted with the artifact and what it will happen to it now. In 2017, the New York Times ran an article about the secret Pentagon UFO program known as the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. The article noted that aerospace billionaire Robert Bigelow, whose interest in UFOs is no secret, modified buildings to house metal, alloys, and other materials that allegedly had been recovered from unidentified aerial phenomena. Earlier this year, DeLong's UFO outfit paid $35,000 for the exotic metamaterials, according to the September SEC findings. The TTSA bought the metals from Linda Moulton Howe, a UFO researcher, in order to conduct rigorous scientific evolutions to determine its functions and possible applications. The company said in a press release in July, and in October, the company is in a partnership with the U.S. Army to research the metal and also study some pretty wild science, such as active camouflage, interstellar mass reduction, and quantum communication. In the interview, Moulton Howe said that she and Art Bell, the late host of a radio program, acquired the metal in 1996, along with a handful of letters from an alleged sergeant in the United States Army who still remains anonymous. Moulton Howe has made some pretty wild claims about the metal. She says that the sergeant's grandfather yanked the metal off a wedge-shaped craft that crashed in 1947 near White Sands Proving Grounds in New Mexico. She has also publicly claimed that the crash recovery team discovered 2 dead aliens and one that was still alive. Moulton Howe and DeLong both believe that by blasting the metals with a magnetic field, it will float. They had a piece, and they explored whether magnetic fields would cause it to turn into a lifting body. Different frequencies, Moulton Howe said. These are the same materials mentioned by DeLong, where he stated, if you hit it with enough terahertz, it'll float. In any case, the metal is of interest to not only DeLong and Moulton Howe, but also the U.S. Army, which told Motherboard that it would be studying metals like this by blasting it with magnetic fields and looking for demonstrable physical phenomena. Next news break, top of the hour.
Coming to you from some far point station, like a cosmic tumbleweed, both north and south of the Pleiades. Here's your host, Gary Anderson.
And that is me. Right now we're trying to get Tobias Whalen on the line so we can talk about cryptics and monsters with a report. And hopefully we got Tobias. Tobias, my friend, how you doing tonight?
Hey, great. How are you, Gary?
Oh, I don't know. I went to get on the air tonight, and both Skypes, somehow the passwords and all the information was gone. And I managed to get it up 3 minutes before airtime. I tell you what, that makes a lot of sweat.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
And that's 3 different Skype accounts on 3 different computers, all lost the passwords.
Just spontaneously, huh?
Oh, yeah. Within a couple hours. I was on it earlier today. Everything was fine. Wanted to go on air, had it up, and all of a sudden it wanted passwords, and it wouldn't accept my passwords. So I had to go in and change the password. So maybe somebody tried hacking into it.
Yeah, honestly, you never know. I mean, stuff like that definitely happens, and especially when you're in our business, you can usually expect the unexpected, and if anything weird can go wrong, it definitely will.
Oh, and it does. Well, anyway, you got 20 minutes here, so I'm going to just turn my mic off, and I'm going to let you go with the cryptic reports and everything you want to talk about. And don't forget to plug your book, too.
All right, definitely. So, it's been a pretty interesting time lately for cryptid reports. We've had a handful of real interesting Bigfoot news that has come through the wire lately. The first story was from mid-October, actually. And this was a guy named Joe Scarborough out in North Carolina. So he was working out in Cleveland County in North Carolina, and he was on his job site, and he noticed